are so many basic things like what is network, which yesterday we had seen. What is networking? The construction or process of design and construction of network so that they can communicate in secure environment is known as networking. Then we have the advantage of network, right? Cost effective, reliability, scalability. No need to discuss this. By the way, I must tell you types of network. Types of network:
LAN and WAN.
LAN and WAN. My first question to you is, how many users can be there in one LAN? How many users can be there in one LAN? If someone is asking you this question, let's say interviewer in the interview,
Any amount of people.
any amount of people, and how many users can be there in WAN?
No users.
No users. What is the difference between LAN and WAN?
It's local area network and it's wide area network. In WAN, we uh, share the routes within different autonomous systems.
Okay, very good. Thank you. First of all, guys, if someone is asking you how many user can be there in LAN, WAN, or any other network, see, these two are the types of network based on topology. After that, we have also created some network. We defined those networks like man. Man is human defined network. We have defined it. Can is also human defined network. Pan is also human defined network. Based on topology, there are only two types of network, LAN and WAN. Now, if someone is asking you about the user in the LAN or WAN, so always keep in mind we didn't divide network based on user. We didn't divide network based on number of user. We divide network based on
Users.
not based on user. We didn't
Device.
divide network based on user. We divide network based on domain, based on
Topology.
area, based on area, or you can say domain. Domain and area both are same. Means if I am going to implement network in a small geographical area, that network will be considered as
LAN.
LAN.
LAN. LAN means a small network, a small geographical area, which is covering the small geographical area. Maybe it is one building or few building in the campus or one floor or even your room, or even when you are connecting to mobile phone through Bluetooth, that is going to be what? LAN,
LAN.
local area network.
Network.
And if we have implemented the network in the large geographical area, that network will be considered as WAN. In some books or in some article, you will find different definition as well. It might be possible that in some book it is going to say LAN is nothing but the group of devices inside one building, or the group of devices managed by a single administrator, group of devices at a small geographical area. And WAN means whenever we are going to connect to LAN through service provider network, that is WAN. See, try to understand, service provider means public network. LAN means it's my private network.
Private.
Inside, private, LAN, doesn't matter what I am calling. If I am saying inside, that means I am talking about LAN only. If I am saying private network, then also I am talking about the LAN only. But my private network can be in large geographical area as well. Right? For an example, I have two data center. This is DC1 in Mumbai, and I have another DC again the same LAN or inside or the private in another city, DC2, or generally you can say the backup DC, disaster recovery DC, DRDC, where we have a backup of data center in, let's say, Delhi. I can connect these two sites through my private dedicated link as well. Is it possible to place my own link here, guys, between Mumbai and Delhi? First of all, government will not allow me. Even if government
No.
is will allow me, it is going to cost me a lot, right? Placing cable, dedicated cable between Mumbai and Delhi will cost you lots of money. Then how you will connect these two sites, these two local area network through the public network, right? Instead of putting my own cable, there are so many provider in the market who is saying, Praful, you need to connect Mumbai to Delhi site together. I have already a great infrastructure. I have already a great infrastructure between Mumbai and Delhi. Whatever bandwidth you need, just tell me. You need to pay little amount and I will provide you the connectivity. I have one office in Mumbai, the base station, and I have the similar base station in Delhi as well. And my both base stations are connected with a great infrastructure. I have a great infrastructure between these two stations. These routers are generally called PE router, provider routers. Right? And again, to connect your LAN to the WAN to the another network, you need one router here inside your Mumbai side and one router inside your Delhi site in your Delhi data center. And this way you can connect these two sites. Now see, the size of my network is, geographical area of my network is large, right? This network will be always
Yes.
considered as WAN. So if I'm saying whenever we are going to connect my private network through public network, that is also WAN. Whenever you are going to use service provider to connect your multiple private sites, multiple private LAN, that will be considered as WAN. Even if you are going to connect your own cable somehow between Delhi to Mumbai, that will be also considered as what, guys? LAN or WAN?
LAN.
If I'm going to connect my cable, my dedicated link, large geographical area, WAN, right? So network in the
Yes, sir.
small geographical area is LAN. Network in the large geographical area, WAN.
WAN.
And between LAN and WAN, there are so many other types of network as well, which we have defined, like CAN. Is LAN and WAN clear? Any question here?
Clear, sir.
If I am implementing a network in a at one floor, that will be always LAN. Or if I am implementing a network in a 10th floor building, that will be also considered as,
Sir, your voice is a bit breaking.
is it for everyone or for him only?
No, it's fine.
It's fine now?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Great, thank you. Or in one campus, let's say in a university, we have three departments, three buildings, right? Engineering, MBA, and sales. So in these all three building, we have LAN, LAN 1, LAN 2, LAN 3, LAN 1, LAN 2, and LAN 3. Three LANs inside the three buildings. And now here we need to connect these all buildings together as well. Correct? And this will be also considered as a LAN only, local area network. But what generally we
Network.
are calling this? Multiple LAN is called CAN. This is our defined network, right? Generally we are connecting, when we are connecting multiple local area network together, what we call it?
CAN.
CAN. Multiple LAN, right? And if distance between multiple LAN is huge, like as I told you, if I am going to connect these two sites through my dedicated private link, that will be considered as what? That is absolutely fine. That is the part of WAN only, WAN. But our human defined term is called MAN.
Man.
Yes. Metropolitan area network. Within the city, between the city.
Metropolitan.
Hmm? And if you are connecting two mobile phone through Bluetooth, that is going to be a smallest network, right? What we call it? It is actually LAN only, but what we call it? PAN, personal area
And
network. These are our human defined terms. LAN, MAN, WAN, and CAN, PAN. MAN comes under WAN category and CAN comes under LAN category. If you are going to
Man.
design a network for a campus, let's say three buildings are there. Three buildings are there in one campus, and here we have LAN in each building. Do you think we will use service provider network here to connect these three buildings, these three LAN? How will
No.
connect?
Via switch?
LAN 3. We are going to use our dedicated cable here between the building, right? If distance is
Yes,
more
sir.
than 100 meter, you will use the fiber cable, multi-mode fiber cable to connect these three buildings. At each building, we can have one router or distribution layer switch like MLS, right? We will talk about those all things later in future classes. And here, guys, if I'm going to use my dedicated link, let's say between two sides, the distance is 10 kilometer, and I'm going to use my dedicated link. So again, you will use fiber cable. If distance is less than 100 meter, which cable? Ethernet cable. For today's network, in today's networking, we have only Ethernet cable to form the LAN, local area network only. But if distance is more than 100 meter, then you will always use what? Fiber cable. And again, in the fiber cable, there are two types of fiber cable, single mode and multi mode. If distance is short, like three building inside the campus, will use the multi mode fiber cable. And if distance is large, 1 kilometer, 5 kilometer, 10 kilometers, you will always use single mode fiber cable. Question, Praful, if I have two building in the same campus, and distance is, let's say, just 50 meters, 50 meter, which cable you will use? Which type of cable you will use, Ethernet or fiber?
Ethernet.
Ethernet, sir.
Ethernet.
Ethernet, but you know fiber cable provides more speed, right? More
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
data transfer rate in the fiber is more than Ethernet. Then why we are not going to use the fiber profile here between two buildings? Maintenance. Guys, fiber cable need more maintenance than Ethernet, right? We can bind the Ethernet cable. No problem if someone is working on the Ethernet cable. But fiber cable need high maintenance. We cannot bind the cable, right?
Yes, sir.
So that's why usually when we have 50 meters of distance, 60 meters of distance, we prefer using Ethernet cable. But Ethernet can only transfer the data if distance is up to 100 meters. So if distance is 1 kilometer, then I don't have option to use Ethernet, then I have to use fiber cable only. This is all about types of network. Is it clear? Please confirm. Types of network.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Everyone, if anyone have any question, you are free to
Yes,
stop me
yes.
and ask.
What
Yeah,
is
what is the
this?
full form for the CAN?
Campus area network,
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, the frequencies.
not
I mean,
frequency. That is
the
frequency is
signals.
the wireless
The
fiber.
signals that transfer via that cable. Not sure about this.
It works on a laser
Light, right?
light. Yeah.
In form of light. So your data is going to be
Yes.
travel in form of light. And it's work on a principle. Is there anyone who have idea about that
Total
principle? Total?
total index reflection.
Internal
Total
reflection.
internal reflection. Yeah.
Correct.
Sorry.
So the difference between single mode and multi-mode. See, one major difference that you need to understand right now is multi-mode is used for short distance and single mode is used for long distance. If you
Sure.
want to know the difference in terms of principle, then you have to understand the working, right? So we'll talk about that later.
Sure. Thank you.
Anything else? Let's move. So here also you can see these all types of networks are there with their full name. Components of network. Yesterday we had seen sender, receiver, media, data and protocol. What is protocol? Who will explain?
Sir, is a set of rules.
Set of rule, right?
Yes, sir.
Sender machine and receiver machine should have the same process, same
Same process.
algorithm to send the data and receive the data. And who take care about the protocol, guys? Your OSI model, right? Both the companies, see, doesn't matter here. I have one Dell laptop and one HP laptop, Apple laptop. Their networking part is common, you know. The process of sending and receiving data is common in all the networking devices, whether it is your PC, laptop, mobile phone, or router, switch, or firewall. Everywhere the networking part is going to be same. Networking part means how they are going to receive and send the data, performing the encryption, encapsulation is going to be same. If in case anyone is not able to understand the encapsulation profile, what is encapsulation? Don't worry, we are going to see that. Can I move?
Yes, sir.
Types of communication. Three types of communication are there. Unicast. Unicast is one-to-one communication. What do you mean by one-to-one communication?
Communication is possible between sender and receiver only.
Very good. Very good, very good. It doesn't mean that there is only two devices in the network. In the network, there are so many users, but one is sending the data and one is receiving the data. That is called one-to-one.
So unicast provides security. Yeah.
Yes, you can say that. My question to you is this. This is my network, LAN, local area network, one LAN. This is, let's say, complete new network, guys, new setup. Just I have connected these all machines together. I have configured one IP address to all the devices, right? And let's say this device is the manager device, manager of the company, manager. And here is one salesperson for an example. Sell. Just I have designed this network. Just I have connected the manager computer, sales computer, and some other clients are there. For the first time, manager is going to send a critical letter to this salesperson that, brother, tomorrow is, let's say, off. Tomorrow you don't need to come office. Tomorrow is the off for you. Only for salesperson, not for all the clients. Is it possible to send a unicast message from manager to salesperson?
No.
Yes.
Why no?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
because
If someone is saying no, then tell me why. A, B, C, D. These are the, for an example, address of the machine. So manager is going to write one letter. They already have the letter, that is I'm going to call as data. And then source address is going to be A and destination address will be what?
D.
D. So see, source is also unicast and destination is, there is one source and one destination. It means this is unicast message, this is unicast communication. But switch is going to forward it to all the device. For the first time you will learn in the switch operation, you will learn it that for the first time switch cannot perform unicast. Switch will forward it to all the machines.
Broadcast. It will broadcast it.
It will not broadcast it. That is called unknown unicast flooding, right? Because maybe
Okay.
switch don't know where is the D, on which port D is connected. So switch have to forward this to everyone for the first packet. And once D will generate reply, switch is going to learn that okay, on my this particular port a device is connected whose MAC address is D. When switch is going to receive the message from the manager, the first thing which switch will do is switch is going to learn their address that okay, on my this particular port a device is connected whose MAC address is A. That is fine. Now if switch will receive any frame for A MAC address, it will perform unicast. It will forward to manager PC only because it already have entry in their database. But for the first time, if it is receiving a frame where destination is D and there is no any entry in their database, then switch have to forward it to all the ports except their receiving port, and that particular thing is called unknown unicast flooding. You will learn that.
How do we call that?
Unknown unicast flooding. Unknown unicast flooding means
unicast flooding. Okay.
unknown unicast flooding means, you know what? Message is unicast, but destination is unknown. So that's why I'm doing the broadcast. I don't have any option. Oh my god. But message is
it broadcast and unknown unicast flooding the same thing?
hey, in the broadcast destination is going to be broadcast, not D. If manager need to send a letter, same letter to everyone, then destination is not going to be D. Then destination is going to be what?
F.
Broadcast, yes. Right? There is huge difference between broadcast and unknown unicast flooding. So here you can see manager is generating what? Unicast traffic. Unicast traffic means source 1 unicast, destination also unicast. That is going to be your one-to-one communication. In other words, you can say if there is one sender who is sending the data and there is one receiver who is receiving the data, that type of communication is called unicast. Right? It provides the privacy, and in the entire course you are going to learn a lot about the unicast communication. You will learn few about the multicast communication as well, right? Multicast communication means you are going to learn the multicast technology. Nowadays multicast is very popular technology. We are moving from broadcast to multicast. So you will learn why we are moving from broadcast to the multicast, what is the benefit, and then how multicast technology works, how someone can send multicast message. When Netflix is releasing any movie, they are just doing the multicast only. If I am uploading any video on YouTube, I am just doing the multicast, that is not broadcast. Because if you want to watch the video, you need what? YouTube application. When you are going to open the YouTube application, means you are joining the multicast group. What it mean? It mean you are joining the multicast group. Let's talk about the multicast. Now the same manager need to send data to these clients except this salesperson. Manager need to send data to these clients. How they can send? Praful, so simple. He will generate two unicast messages, one with source A and destination B, and one with source A and destination C. Am I right?
Yes.
But if the manager need to send the same letter to 100 machine, 100 clients or 1000 clients, in that time manager have to generate how many unicast messages?
100.
100 or 1000. So better to do the broadcast. Why manager is not doing broadcast? Source A and destination all have broadcast. What is the issue? Here salesperson will also receive the message, isn't it?
Correct.
Manager cannot do the broadcast, right? If we have this requirement, guys, for an example, our WhatsApp one-to-one communication. If I'm talking to any one guy from the group in our WhatsApp, that is going to be what? That is going to
One to
be
one, sir.
unicast, right? Yes. And if I need to send any information to all of you, I will send that message in the group, right? We have WhatsApp group. That is going to be what? Multicast.
Multicast.
Multicast means source is again one. Source, unicast. But destination,
Unicast.
Group.
multicast.
Multicast.
What do you mean by multicast, Praful? Is it mean that here destination address is going to be B and C both? Is it mean? No. Multicast doesn't mean that multiple destination address. What it mean then? It mean that we'll create one multicast group here in the network. For an example, my multicast group is 224.0.0.1. This is multicast address. You are going to learn it. Don't worry. In case if you don't know, this is one IP address, right? The multicast group. And I'm going to tell to the all managers and client to join this multicast group. Now, who are the member of this multicast group? Your manager and client, not the salesperson. So if manager is going to send something with source A and destination what? 224.0.0.1. This is multicast message. And who will receive it? All the machine is going to receive it, whoever have joined this multicast group. For an example, two routers are there, R1 and R2. As soon as you are going to enable EIGRP routing protocol on the router, the first task that your router will perform is joining the multicast group. It will join 224.0.0.10. This multicast group is reserved for EIGRP protocol. Now, why this router has joined this multicast group, Praful? Because whenever someone is going to send EIGRP message, it will receive that. It will receive that. Means I am the member of that multicast group. On the switch also you can do the grouping, right? You can create one VLAN. You can create one VLAN and you can put these all devices in that VLAN. Now, if someone is going to generate a broadcast message in that VLAN, that will be received to those all machine who are the member of that VLAN. So many techniques are there for the multicasting, and same thing we are going to learn in the course. For now, just understand one thing: what is the meaning of multicast and unicast and broadcast. Even you can forget about the broadcast, you can ignore the broadcast. We are moving, right? After 5 years you will not find any message in the broadcast, but for today you have to learn the broadcast as well, because guys, there are some protocols like your ARP, DHCP and some legacy applications are still using the broadcast. You cannot ignore it now. After 5 years, 10 years, definitely you can ignore it. In future you will not find the broadcast message in the network. We are moving from broadcast to multicast. So unicast means one to one. One to one means source and destination both are unicast. Multicast means one to many, like our WhatsApp group, like this Google Meet. Who will tell me why this is multicast, not broadcast? I'm talking about the Google meeting, guys, where we all are connected. Is it the broadcast or multicast?
Multicast.
If I am sending something here, if I am
Multicast.
speaking, that is information only.
Yeah, because that is meant for the people who have joined this group.
Yeah, very good, exactly. So see, you guys, the people who are receiving my message are already joined that multicast group, right? That's why you are receiving it. So this is the difference between multicast and broadcast. Later you will learn the difference between multicast. Sorry, yes, benefit of using multicast over broadcast as well. But for now, this is our multicast group, multicast communication. Right now we are doing multicast, not broadcast. Always keep in mind this. One to many. And broadcast, what is broadcast?
One to all.
One to all in network. All in one to all in the network. Understand one very important example. Very important example. There is one switch, guys.
So before you move, I have a question. Can you go up?
Yeah. Ask your question.
So 24.1.1 and 24.0.0.10, right?
Mhm.
So are you saying, is it like we have a dedicated broadcast address? I know that, but is it there on all the switches or just standard?
This is the IP address reserved for
No,
multicasting. If the
yes,
value
but
in
is it
first octet
standard?
is 224, that is
Uh-huh.
reserved for multicasting.
So it is there by default, right? That's what I'm saying.
Yes. Who is managing the IP
Okay.
addresses? There is one organization, right? The international non-profitable organization that is called INA,
I know.
Internet Assigned Number Authority. Internet Assigned Number Authority. This organization is managing your IP addresses, your port numbers, right? The public IP addresses, private IP addresses. So based on the INA, if any IP address is starting with 224 is reserved for multicasting,
Multicast.
right? Some multicast addresses are reserved. Reserved means which are already assigned to the protocol, like CEIGRP has one multicast address, OSPF will have a multicast address, and some multicast are free that we can use for an example. Here in this company there is one server, right? And this server often broadcast one video, right? The lecture, let's say this is a training institute network like me, like PM networking, right? So always publish the classes videos, sorry, videos. So it will, the server is going to send the videos on one multicast address, and from where I will get that multicast address? From the defined range, right? For an example, I'm using 224.1.1. So my server is going to send the video on this multicast address, and who will receive that video? Whoever are going to join this multicast address, whoever are going to join this multicast group will receive the video.
So how we do that, sir? Do we do it based on the VLANs or
Not
SVR
based
or
on the
what?
VLAN. We'll learn
Okay.
that there is protocol. You know the IGMP protocol. This is the
Oh
protocol
yes.
in our syllabus. We will learn PIM protocol. These are the multicasting protocols. We will learn it, how it is going to work. For now, just I want to explain you, wanted you to understand one thing, that if I am saying multicast, that means I'm talking about the destination address. Destination address is multicast. If I am saying unicast, that means destination address is unicast. When I am saying broadcast, that means destination address is broadcast. Just I wanted you to understand this, nothing else. Type of communication depends on destination address. If destination address is unicast, it is going to be unicast communication. If destination address is multicast, it is going to be multicast communication. And if destination address is
Broadcast.
broadcast, then we'll call it broadcast communication. How multicasting will work? Don't worry, we'll see that. Even don't need to discuss this example for now, because we can understand it later when I will make you understand why we are moving towards multicast from the broadcast. Like many of you know about the RIP routing protocol. RIP has how many version, guys?
3.
2. Yeah, 3 you can say. One is default, and then version 1, version 2.
2.
Version 1 and version 2. I am interested to discuss these two. What is the difference between version 1 and 2? Guys, definitely there will be some improvement, enhancement in the version 2 from version 1. Am I right?
Yes.
What is the enhancement, improvement? Version 1 sends their message on broadcast address, means on all F, and version 2 sends their message on
Multicast.
multicast address. That is the improvement in the version 1 and 2. The major improvement.
So version 2 is also supporting classless address, that is subnetting.
That is going to be minor improvement. I'm talking about the major improvement. Major improvement is version 1 was working on broadcast, version 2 is working on multicast technology. This is the major difference, major improvement. So many other minor differences as well are there. Similarly, like RIP, if you will check other technologies, so there are many technologies which earlier using broadcast and nowadays using multicast. Is type of communication clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
If I need to send anything to the multiple device, I will send on multicast address. Always keep in mind. If I need to send something to everyone in the network, I will send on broadcast address. And if I need to send anything to only one guy, then I will send to unicast address. Clear? Hope it is clear. Next is modes of communication. First of all, Praful, types of communication and modes of communication. Who will tell me the difference between type and mode? Modes and type. Because off communication and off communication are common, you can see in both topic, isn't it? What is the difference between these two topics? Only one thing here, type, and here modes. And the definition is completely different, right? Here we have unicast, multicast, broadcast, and here we have simplex, duplex, and full duplex, half duplex.
I mean, the way we send the traffic, that's the first this type of communication.
That is going to be type.
And then the
Away.
way we send the traffic from sender to the receiver.
And modes.
And the mode is the way we handle the traffic on the receiving end, like simplex or duplex.
I'm very sorry to say no. Anything
Okay.
else?
The type would be how we, yeah. Okay.
How? And this one is the way. How many ways are there to send the traffic?
The
Way. Is there one way? Two way? If there is two way, a device can do both at the same time. Isn't it? There is some difference between type and mode. Type means how we are sending the data. That is going to be a type of communication. It can be unicast, multicast, and broadcast. And how many ways are there? So 3 ways are there. Simplex is one way of communication. In this mode, only one device can send the traffic and other device can only receive the traffic. There are 3 modes: simplex, half duplex, and full duplex. Full duplex means simplex. Let's talk about simplex first. Simplex means one way. It is similar like the collision domain. If you know the collision domain, in case if you don't know, don't worry. Simplex means one way, right? Means a sender device can only send and receiver device can only receive. And half duplex. Second one is half duplex. Half duplex means two-way. Two-way, but not at same instant of time.
Time.
Not at same time. At a time, either it can send or receive. And the full duplex. Full duplex is two-way at same time. Right now we are talking, right, in the Google Meet. On which mode it is working?
Full.
Full duplex, right?
Duplex.
Yeah.
Full duplex. At the same time, we can listen as well as speak. Right. So let's suppose if you have a PC, if you have a PC or any networking device, not only PC, and this is their interface port NIC. What is NIC? NIC is nothing but the network interface card. What is network interface card, Praful? The port through which a device is going to send or receive the data traffic. Now, if this port or interface works on simplex, that means this port is designed to either send the data or to receive the data. Like if I will talk about the guys old television. So old television was one receiver device, right? We were not able to give the input, isn't it? We can only watch something on the TV. Means the port where it was receiving the data was designed to work on simplex. If I'm saying this port works on half duplex, like this device, Praful, can sometimes send the data and sometimes it can receive the data, right? So design it to work on half duplex. But again, it will not do both at the same time. But in the network, we need fast communication. My device should be intelligent so that it can do both. So that's why all the latest devices, whatever devices we have today, works on full duplex. Full duplex. What you need to learn here about the duplex? What Praful? Why we are learning the duplex? Where we are going to use it? You are going to use it in network troubleshooting. You are going to use it in network troubleshooting. For an example, this is your edge router. This is your edge router. Let's say this one. Edge router, right? Customers are complaining that, Praful, I am not able to access the Google server properly, which is available on the internet. It might be possible that from the internet router, from internet side, the duplex is configured as what? Half duplex. So few packet is getting dropped. In that time, you need to check the duplex. Is both side working on full duplex or not? How we'll do that? We can configure that. Even we can verify that. See, I have access of my router. No, enable. And if I'm going to run command here, show interface fast Ethernet 0/0, the not GE, only G. See the output. Are you able to see the duplex? What is the duplex? The line protocol is done. These all things disable. Line protocol disable. Administrative mode done. We will talk about these all, but focus on duplex here. Duplex is
Full duplex.
full duplex. It is working on full duplex. But due to some misconfiguration in the network, due to heavy load on your router, sometime automatically your port will start working on half duplex G0/0, or someone can configure it as well. Full, similarly they can configure half. You know what is the configured mode of duplex, guys? What duplex mode is configured on all networking devices? The
Auto.
default configuration is auto. Duplex, auto. This command is running on all the interfaces of your networking device. Auto means it is going to negotiate from their neighbor device. For an example, here I have router. Again, this router is connected to another ISP router. Here my configured duplex mode is what? Auto. So if it is auto, then it can be simplex also, it can be half duplex also, it can be full duplex also. You are not going to configure it. It can be your half duplex or full duplex.
Just dynamic.
How it will set their duplex automatically, dynamically, depending on their neighbor device. If ISP is going to configure their duplex as half, then your router will automatically set their duplex to half. If ISP is going to set it full, then your automatically router is going to set full. So assume if you are connecting one router to the hub, hub works on what? Which duplex?
Half duplex.
Right? So it might be possible that my router can set their duplex what? Half. In that case, you have to manually configure what? Full duplex. Getting my point, guys? This is so important for troubleshooting. Here we are able to see the output. We are not able to see the configured mode. Right? This interface is operating on full duplex, and make sure your all interfaces are operating on full duplex only. Otherwise, you will get latency issues, slowness. If you are watching any video, there will be buffering. Right? If you are sending any voice traffic, your traffic will get dropped. Voice, there's some difference between voice traffic and data traffic. Voice is a delay sensitive traffic. Delay should be very minimum for voice traffic. You will learn that in quality of service. We will learn the voice traffic in QS in very detail. We'll go very deep. For now, is mode clear? Mode of communication? And
So I have a question. So does this simplex, duplex, full duplex impact the speed? I mean, if the port is 10 gig and we configured as half duplex, right?
yes, it will impact the
So
speed. It can reduce the performance of your overall network. It can reduce the performance of your application.
so it will automatically do it if we configure half duplex on one of the port, right? And if that port is of 10 gig, so it will only going to accept 5 gig of traffic. Is that what you're saying?
No, it cannot do both at the same time. If you are sending, then you have to make sure that no one is there who is transmitting the data on the same link. For an example, here I have one hub. For an example, this is hub. Hub works on hub duplex. This is the main reason why we replace hub by switch. Nowadays, we are not using hub. We cannot say completely we are not using, because I am still using in my home, right? So you can use for personal use or in the small office just to connect few printers. Because why we are going to purchase the switch? Switch is expensive as compared to hub. So still using, but not in use in the enterprise network. In the enterprises, you are not using the hub. Reason, hub works on hub duplex, and hub don't have memory. Hub always perform broadcasting. Broadcasting means if even destination address is unicast, then also your hub is going to perform broadcast, because hub cannot read the address, the from where traffic is coming, where traffic is going, what is the source, what is the destination. Hub don't have any memory. Hub is similar like your extension board. Similar like your extension board. In the extension board, guys, the electric extension board, there is a hard coded wire, right, between all the ports to charge multiple devices we are using extension board in the room, office, and inside that extension board there is a hard-coded cable wired. Hub is also similar like that. Hub is also similar like your extension board like this. There is a hard-coded cable, right? And then these two ports are connected to your electric wired. It is similar like that, right? If 4 ports are there on the hub, means we can connect 4 networking devices together. This is centralized device which can be used to connect 4 networking devices together. But inside the box, all the ports are wired like this. Right. So for an example, here I am going to connect few devices, computer A, computer B, or 2, or computer C, or computer D. I have connected 4 computer through hub. This is answer of your question, brother, only. Try to understand it very carefully. I am taking this example just because of your question. So try to understand this very carefully. C and D, 4 device. If person A need to send something to person D, before sending the data, person have to make sure that there is no one sending traffic to the hub. Otherwise, what will happen? Otherwise, collision will occur over here. Collision means colliding. The data, two data are going to collide and drop. There will be packet loss. So in this scenario, as you are going to connect your PC to the hub, you know the configure duplex is auto. All the devices are going to set their mode as hub duplex, isn't it? All the devices, all the PCs are going to set their mode to the hub duplex. If I am going to connect one PC to the switch, automatically my devices will set their mode to full duplex. But if I am going to connect it through hub, it will set their mode to hub duplex, because configured mode is auto, isn't it? Yes. Now, if this machine A, operating on hub duplex and need to send any data, right? Let's say here is the data, and in the data, source address is A, destination address is D, anything. Now, before sending this data, your machine is going to check that my interface, my port is operating on half duplex or full duplex. If it is operating on half duplex, then I have to sense the link, that link is free or not. Because if without sensing the link, if your machine is going to send the data, then there is a chance of collision. Because half duplex means either it can send or receive the data at a time. If someone else is sending the data over here on this link data is already there, which is coming toward this PC, and at the same time if it will send the data over here, then there will be collision. Even if someone from the PCD is sending some data to the hub, data is at hub, and at the same time if PC1 is going to send, then there will be collision over the hub, because hub is, what I told you, is a wired only. To avoid this collision, what will happen here? What technique we are using? We are using one technique to sense the link before sending the data. Whenever a machine is going to send data on the half duplex, it will sense the link first. Sense the link means to check that link is free or not. You must have heard about CSMA CD protocol. How many of you know CSMA CD protocol?
Yes.
Or CSMA
C.
CA? Collision detection and collision avoidance. One is for wireless, one is for wire network. CD is for wire network. collision detection, right? This protocol is used to avoid the collision, detect the collision. How? Just by sensing the link. So if your PC is working on half duplex, it will first sense the link by using CSMA CD protocol to identify that is this link free. If it is free, then I will send, otherwise I will not send the data. I need to wait. So what was your question? That if my port, doesn't matter what is the bandwidth, 100 gig or 500 gig or 100 Mbps, doesn't matter. If it is
Yeah,
working on half duplex, then there is a chance of collision. If there will be collision, there will be packet loss. Your packet will get dropped. Bandwidth is not in picture anywhere. You can see bandwidth doesn't matter here. Clear, brother?
for sure. It's just a way of sending the data from one point to the other one.
Next is very important topics: networking devices. What is NIC, network interface card? What is NIC? A network interface card is a computer hardware component that used to connect a computer to the computer network. Let me take an example of two PC. Guys, I have two PC and I need to form a network. I need to form a network PCA and PCB. Now, I need one port. I need one port that is called NIC only. NIC is used to connect your device to the network. Whether you need to connect two computers together or you need to connect one computer to switch or router or firewall, any device, you need NIC. NIC can be wired or it can be wireless.
Wireless.
There are two types of NIC. Wirelessly also I can connect these two PC together, or through wire also I can connect these two PC together. Let's talk about wired NIC. How NIC looks like? NIC card. Everywhere, on every laptop, computer, everywhere you will find this card, this port, isn't it? Yes. Everywhere you will find this port, right? It is directly connected with your motherboard. You can see NIC is connected to motherboard. What is the use of NIC? It is used to connect a device to the network. It is the port, it is the interface through which I can connect. Now for an example, both the computer have NIC. One NIC is there and one NIC is there. I can connect these two computers together now, right? See, this is my port. Similarly, same port is available on my both PC, this port. This port is called RJ45 port, right? Here your RJ45 connector will get fit. So now you can insert your RJ45 connector at both ends and you can connect your machines like this. The NIC will also have the numbering. What is the number of this NIC port? And on that NIC only you will configure what? Address. Guys, try to understand how I am using computer for network communication. For the network communication, we have added the NIC here. This is the extra thing which we have added in the computer when we started sending data over network. Earlier, before network, the compute. So earlier, computer was designed for gaming purpose, for calculation. Later, we started using computer to send data. How? Just by adding this interface. Right? This interface is the identity of your computer. Identity means this interface will have what? Address. MAC address and IP address. Both types of address. Right? And through that address only your devices are going to send or receive data. Now, if I have two PC profile, that is fine, we have connected. Now, if I have three PC, what I will do? How I will connect the third PC?
Through hub or switch.
Here I have again NIC port here. That is fine, Praful. Here NIC port is available, but is NIC port available on PC A and B? No, it's not available. So to connect PC C also to the network, here also I have to add one more NIC. Here I have to add one more NIC. Here also I have to add one more NIC. Here also I need two NIC, and like this I can form a network of 3 computer. Guys, if I have 4 computer, it is going to be complicated now, right? If I have 100 computer, I cannot connect like this, right? So we come up with another networking component that is called hub. First we come up with hub. So what is hub? Hub is a centralized device which is used to connect multiple devices together. It is centralized device, right? Like between the 3 PC, all the PCs has single NIC. That is also fine now. If I am going to use the centralized device, single NIC is sufficient. 2 NICs are not required now. Single NIC is there at each PC, and here in between I am going to put my centralized device, that is hub. And hub has multiple ports. I can create like this. Again, this is nothing but the wiring between 3 computers. This is wiring between 3 computers. There is no difference, no any difference between, guys, the previous scenario and this scenario. Both are exactly same only. Earlier, the difference is only one thing. Earlier, we were using 2 NIC on every PC. Now I have only single NIC. Earlier, you have to configure 2 IP address, 2 subnet on every PC. Now you need to configure single IP address. That is the benefit. But the issue with hub is it works on hub. It's work on
Half duplex.
half duplex, and it is not intelligent device. What do you mean by this? It is not intelligent.
Does not prevent collision.
Means it doesn't have any memory. It doesn't have any memory. If it doesn't have any memory, that means we cannot install the operating system here, right? If we cannot install the operating system, means we cannot access the device, means we cannot manage the device. This is completely unmanageable device, isn't it? Yes. But here we need one centralized device which should be manageable, where I can control the traffic. If there is no operating system, no memory, no table, then this centralized device cannot understand the address. If PC A want to talk to PC B, source address A, destination address B, it will forward to hub, and your hub will do what? Your hub
Broadcast.
will broadcast. It will send one to this also, one to this also, because hub cannot understand that, okay, destination address is B, right? So that's why we replace the hub with one another device. We come up with another centralized device with name what? Switch. With name switch. Hub, you can read about the hub. Works at physical layer. It is dummy device, works on half duplex, used to connect multiple networking devices together. That is fine. That is the only definition of switch as well, you can see. Used to connect multiple devices in LAN. But hub works at physical layer, means that was just a wire, nothing else. But switch works at layer 2, data link layer. Data link layer means layer 2, guys. Your MAC address works at this layer, means switch can understand the MAC address. When I am saying switch works at layer 2, it means Switch is going to forward the data based on layer 2 address. When I am saying any device works at layer 3, it means it uses layer 3 address to forward the data. When I am saying any device works at layer 4, it means it uses layer 4 address to send the traffic. Clear? The most important thing about switch is, see, what is this? Read it, guys. Read it loudly so that I can listen you.
Switch can be unicast, multicast, and broadcast
Broadcast
traffic.
traffic.
Right? Switch can perform all kind of communication,
Communication.
and it is intelligent device. Let's understand how it is intelligent, Papul. How? Again, I am assuming that here I have one switch. I have one switch here, and some computers are there. Computer A, computer B, computer C, and computer D. First of all, this is our connectivity, physical connectivity. I'm assuming the address of computer 1 is A, MAC address, layer 2 address, MAC address of this machine is B, MAC address of this machine is C, and MAC address of this machine is D. And this is your switch. Our switch has memory, right? Yes. So if switch has memory, in the memory we will install operating system. We'll talk about that operating system. We'll go very deep in the Cisco operating system, iOS. Later you will also learn the another operating system like XE, advanced operating system. Operating system done. Question: Praful, how switch will perform unicast? For an example, this is port number 1. Port number, port ID, interface ID is 1. Interface ID of this port is 2. Interface ID of this port is 3. Interface ID of this port is 4. You are able to see the topology. Now you tell me, on port number 1, which device is connected?
ABC.
On port number 1,
A,
only A. On port number 2,
B,
on port number 3,
C,
on
C,
port number 4.
D.
D.
We know this. How switch will know this? If switch is going to perform unicast, then switch also have to understand this, right?
Yes, sir.
Question:
Yes.
how switch will understand that, Praful? Understand the first function of switch.
Learning one of this.
First, very good. Someone said learning MAC address. First function of switch is what? Learning. There was only one word missing in your definition. Can you correct it now? You said learning MAC address. One word is missing.
I'm storing it automatically.
Learning source MAC address. The first function of switch is learning source MAC address. Praful, how? Now let's suppose again this manager is going to generate a traffic where source is A and destination is D. Manager PC is going to forward this to switch. As soon as switch will receive it on their port, switch will receive on which port?
Put one.
Port number 1, right? Guys, understand it very carefully. This is foundation of switching. This is the only foundation of switching. If you know this very well, you can understand HTTP protocol, VTP protocol, DTP protocol, CDP protocol, Ether channel, everything. The VLAN, trunking, everything. This is the foundation only. Now, switch will receive it on port number 1. Very good. As soon as switch is going to receive it on port number 1, switch is going to look at source MAC address. What is the source MAC address? Source MAC address is A, right? Now switch will understand that, okay, on my port number 1, one computer or any networking device is connected whose MAC address is
A.
A. Switch is going to install add this entry in their table. Switch maintain which table? MAC address
Mac
table.
address table.
MAC address table. It will make one entry in the table. Okay, let me make one entry that on my port number 1, a device is connected whose MAC address is nothing but the A. There will be many more information, guys, about the aging time, about the VLAN. You will learn those all things later. Don't worry. For now, just understand this very important foundation. Now switch know that on my port number 1, one device is connected whose MAC address is A. The second function of switch.
Forward.
Second function of switch. The first function is clear to everyone. How switch is going to learn MAC address, or how switch is going to understand on which port which device is connected.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Second function of switch is
Forwarding.
forwarding. Very good. Forwarding. For the forwarding, switch is going to look up at destination address. Destination address is what? D. Now switch need to find where is the D. Am I right? Yes. What switch will do to find the port number to forward the message data to the machine whose MAC address is D? What switch will do? Switch will look up their MAC address table only. Switch will look up their MAC address table. Hey, is there any entry available in my MAC address table for D MAC address? Switch is going to scan their MAC address table. Is there any entry available in the MAC address? Is D MAC address there, guys, in MAC address table? No, it's not available.
No.
So here switch is going to forward one copy to all the machine. Now you can ask, Praful, this is the behavior of hub only, right? You said switch is an intelligent device. This is the intelligence C. Still forwarding to everyone. Where is the privacy? What is the difference? See the magic. Wait. Right now, switch don't have entry for D MAC address. That's why, again, this is not broadcast. This is a non-unicast flooding. Packet is unicast, but switch is doing the broadcast just because switch is not able to find the port exit interface for the particular address. So that's why switch is forwarding one copy to all the machine. No problem. When B will receive it, what will happen? When computer B will receive it, what will happen? B is going to look up at destination address. Destination address is D. It will say, no, this is not for me. My MAC address is B, right? It will discard it. Similarly, when C will receive it, C will, oh, destination MAC is D. It's not my MAC address. My MAC address is C. Let me discard it. When D will receive it, it will say destination MAC address is D. Oh, it's my MAC address. Someone has sent it something to me. Let me check. And if it is request, then let me generate the reply. Isn't it? Yes. And when switch is going to, sorry, this PCD is going to generate reply, at that time, guys, what will be the source? What will be the source?
D.
And what will be the destination?
A.
A. And D will forward this traffic to whom?
A.
To the switch?
A.
To the switch first.
Yeah, to the switch.
Again, the first function of switch. Address learning. What is the source?
Yeah.
D.
D.
On
D.
which port?
D.
Okay.
4.
Source is D.
4.
That means this
Or
data is coming from a device whose MAC address is D. That means on my port number 4, a device is connected whose MAC address is
D.
D. Second function of switch. Forwarding. For the forwarding switch, we look up at destination address. Destination address is A. It will again look up their MAC address table. What is the port number for a MAC address? You tell me.
1.
It will forward
1.
from here. It is what? It is unicast, right? First packet was what? Broadcast. Even if you want to avoid that broadcast, you can make the static entry in the MAC address table of switch, isn't it? Yes. If guys statically I am going to bind this MAC address with port, then switch will never perform broadcast. If this manager is so critical, it's so important for the privacy, if it is a server, I don't want switch to the broadcast to the any packet of this manager, I will create one static entry in the MAC address table of switch. If switch has the entry in their MAC address table for a particular MAC address, it will never perform broadcasting, isn't it?
Yes, that's true.
This is my switch. This is my switch. Enable. So, MAC address table. Is there any entry available? See, right now
No.
in the MAC address
No.
table, there are 4 things. But we are talking about the MAC address and
Ports.
ports. That's it. Forget about the type. Type is going to be either dynamic or static. If it is switch is learning dynamically, then type is going to be dynamic. If we are going to bind the MAC address with port statically, then type is going to be a static, right? And about the VLAN you will learn in detail, don't worry. Guys, when I will configure the IP address on this PC, what will happen? Is there anyone who can explain, who can tell me what will happen when I will configure IP on the machine?
It will send a broadcast
Which message?
message.
Why?
Discover.
Look for the MAC address of.
No. Whenever you will configure IP address, let's say this is my machine PC whose MAC address is A. And here I am going to configure the IP address. Doesn't matter you are configuring the IP address statically or it is getting through DSCP. The process is same every time. What? Checking the duplicacy. PC need to check that this IP address is duplicate or
When
unique. Is this IP address unique or duplicate? Question, how PC will check that? If I am assigning this IP address to this machine to PC1, PCA 10.1.1.1, how PC1 is going to identify this IP address is unique or
Gracious up.
duplicate? Gracious are
mm,
very good. It will generate one packet called gracious ARP. It will generate one packet called gracious ARP. As soon as you will assign IP address or your machine will get IP through DHCP, it will generate one type of ARP message that is called GARP, gracious ARP. In the gracious ARP, you know, source IP address will be 10.1.1.1, their own IP address, and destination IP address will be also same, 10.1.1.1. Source MAC will be the MAC address of PCA and destination MAC will be broadcast. Now, who will tell me which PC will generate reply to this gracious ARP, guys?
The one having the same.
If one having the same IP address, if there is anyone in the network who is using this address, will generate the reply.
Yes.
If there is no one using this IP address, then no one will generate reply and your machine will assign that IP address. If your machine will get reply message for the gracious ARP, it will give you the error that this IP address is duplicate. What this machine will do with this gracious ARP? This machine will send this gracious ARP to switch. This machine PC will send this gracious ARP to switch, and guys, remember the first function of switch, address learning. It is going to learn what MAC address?
A.
in the MAC address table. Very good. Now let me take you over here.
I have one question
Go ahead.
that whenever we configure the PC with the IP address or it get it through DHCP, the gracious app automatically generates.
Yes, automatically generate.
Okay.
That is already in your operating system.
Okay. That's a part of process. Okay.
Correct. So guys, right now my switch don't have any MAC address, but as soon as I will configure the IP address over here, it will send gracious ARP and switch is going to learn the MAC address of PC1. What is the MAC address of PC1, Praful? Here is the MAC address of PC1. See, this is the MAC address of PC1. Let me write here. Is it visible?
Yeah.
Yes.
And let me show you the port number of switch as well. Here, don't worry about the packet tracers. Soon I am going to teach you the packet tracer as well, in case if anyone don't know how to use it. Now I am able to see the port as well. See, this PC is connected on which port?
Fast
Cause
zero.
internet,
0 by 1, right?
Yeah.
I'm taking it over here. And this is the MAC address of this PC. Let me take it here. This is best. Okay, I'm going to assign IP here. IP 10 dot. And if you want to see the gracious ARP, you can open the simulation mode. See, 10.1.1.1 and submit mask. Are you able to see the gracious ARP message?
Okay. Okay.
What is the source IP address?
1.1.
Destination IP?
Same.
Source MAC?
Its own
Destination MAC?
broadcast.
FF
It will forward to switch.
broadcast.
Switch will forward to all the PCs and all are going to drop it. Done? Process completed. Let me show you
Yes.
the MAC address table of switch. Are you able to see something new here? This is the MAC address of device which is connected on my which port? 0/1 port. And how I have learned that?
dynamically.
Dynamically. In which VLAN? In VLAN 1. You can ignore the VLAN for now. Clear, guys? The function of switch. First function. Second function, you can see it performed broadcast because destination was all F. As soon as I'm going to configure IP on PC number 4, let's say 10.2, same thing will happen. 10.1.1.2, same. And now I am expecting 2 entry in the MAC address table of switch. How many entry are there?
2 entries. Okay.
2 entry. This is the MAC address of PC4. Their IP address 10.1.1. Their IP address 10.1.2. Now, if PC1 is going to send something to PC4, let's say any data, here is my any data, source IP address 10.1.1.1, destination IP address 10.1.1.2, source MAC address, this one. Destination MAC address, this one. This is my packet. This is my packet, right? Right, guys? This is your packet?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
PC will forward to switch. Switch will receive on F1/0. It will update their MAC address table. Will switch check IP address or data? Not at all, Praful, not at all. Switch will never open your IP header, layer 3 header. Switch always forward traffic based on layer 2 information, the MAC address. Right? Switch is going to open their MAC address table like this. How it is going to open their MAC address? Like this, let me show you. Even it will not open the complete MAC address because there are so many addresses, right? In the production, you will find so many addresses in the table. So it is going to run this command. So MAC address table and then address. So MAC address and dynamic. Here we are not able to find that command, but you can find that command in the evng. When I will show you this lab in the evng, at that time I will show you. For now it is going to check the entire MAC address table for an example, and it will check. See, destination in the last it's 8130. Where is
Your
81?
voice is low. Sorry, sir. Now it's fine.
It's better now.
Okay.
Now it's okay.
See, switch is going to check destination MAC address. First function is learning, right? It will update this entry. You will learn about that MAC aging time and those all things in detail. Don't worry how it will update the MAC address. But first function learning MAC, then second it is going to check the destination MAC address. In the destination MAC, you can see at last it's 8130. Here is that MAC address. It will check the port number. Port number is 0/4, and it is going to forward from 0/4. This is what? Unicast, right?
Correct.
First packet broadcast and non-unicast wording. But to avoid that, even that broadcast, what you can do, you can create the static entry. Here I can say interface f0/2 and MAC, sorry, not here. If that command is available, yes, MAC address table and then a static and then MAC address. What is the MAC address of PC2 for an example? Here is the MAC address of PC2. We'll talk about the MAC address also, guys, in detail. Address is this one, and then interface, on which interface you want to bind, and the VLAN is for an example 1 for now. Then interface, and interface is fast Ethernet 0/2. And now if you will check again MAC address table, you can see one is
Static.
static. This is your second networking device, or you can say third networking device if you are going to consider the hub as well. First one is an IC. Second one is switch, because we are not going to learn hub. The third networking device is router. What is switch? Switch is used to connect multiple devices in LAN, local area network. Now understand the router. What is router? Read here, what is router?
A layer 3 device.
A device that connects different networks together.
Again, guys, I'm telling you, this is the foundation, right? Very, very important to learn the modern technologies. Switch is clear. Any question in switch?
I have one question.
Yes, go ahead.
So when we configure the static MAC address to the switch, and if we remove that and put some other MAC address, then
So that will be also bind on the switch can have multiple MAC address on single port.
but we have configured it static.
Yeah,
Suppose we have
statically
configured for
also we can configure thousands of MAC addresses on one port.
okay.
Switch can
Okay.
have more than one MAC address on single port. Any other question?
No, thank you.
Router. Router works at layer 3. Means router is going to forward traffic based on
Layer 3
layer 3
protocol.
address, right?
IP addresses.
IP addresses. Works on full duplex, and router is used to connect
Or more different
network, right? Or you can say the LAN. Now I am going to give you two scenario. Here I have LAN 1 Here some PCs are there connected with switch. This is my LAN. Many of you are familiar with this now. This is local area network 1. And I have LAN 2 here. Switch 1, switch 2, switch 1, switch 2. There is difference in terms of connectivity. That's it, nothing else. Let me tell you. Between switch 1 and switch 2, here I have one DAC link. I have connected switch 1, switch 2 together. Done. For an example, two buildings. Two buildings, guys. LAN 1, LAN 2. If I'm going to connect these two buildings, I'm building the CAN, campus area network, right? This is my CAN. But here, you know how I'm going to connect to building. Here I'm going to use one router. Here I will have one router in between switch 1, switch 2. According to your existing networking knowledge, you tell me which design is the better.
Second one.
Why?
Because we can have two different subnets. We can communicate with each other from router.
If we have the single subnet here, brother, that is the beneficial, na?
Yes.
100 users are connected on switch 1, 100 users are connected on switch 2, or 1000 users, 100 users are here also, 100 users are here also. According to your existing knowledge, which design is the good, guys, best, guys? Both are same network, right? Two building, two LAN. There is just difference in terms of connectivity, right? One has router, one has direct connectivity between the switch. But
both are correct.
Both are correct. I'm not saying wrong. I'm saying which one is the better.
I think scenario 2 would be better. Even though if the switch one goes down, we should have a connections on switch 2. So
if switch 1 will goes down, what, brother? If switch
if
1
the
will goes down,
even the switch one goes down where it connected to the router, we will still have a connection with switch 2, and those users won't be affected.
no, if switch 2 will go, switch 1 will goes down, then these users are able to communicate, but they will not communicate with switch 1 users, right? Users which is connected on switch 1. Here also, if switch 1 will goes down, these user can communicate, but they cannot communicate with LAN 1. No any difference. In terms of redundancy, both are exactly same. No any difference in terms of redundancy. If you are saying first one is better or second one is better, you should have the clear and crystal answer for your why. I'm not asking you to just choose one without any reason. My reason behind asking the question is just I wanted to know that you guys have the logic or not. If you are saying second one is the better or first one is the better, why? Do you know the logic?
So it will have direct communication between switch 1 and switch 2 instead of putting more overhead by putting a router between.
So according to you, scenario 1 is the better?
Yes.
Okay.
Scenario 2 is better. Sir, if you want to use some access list, then scenario 2 is better. If you don't want to use, then scenario 1 is
It's
better.
the main
Sorry?
concern of
If I want to use?
Any
The
access list
scenario
or any,
better as we have two different domains.
if you want to deploy any access list, then scenario 2 is better. If you want to use a tame network, then scenario 1 is better.
In the scenario 1
Based on
also we can
requirement.
configure the ACL.
L2 switch.
Vehicle. Yes, VLAN ACL. Guys, I will talk about router tomorrow, but let's discuss something very important today.
Yes,
This
sir.
is, yeah,
If we want to connect users to the internet, then we need router, and in that case, we will need the scenario number 2.
okay. Anything else?
Will there be any problem regarding to broadcast and collision domain, sir?
router. His main function is to transfer from separate network
Okay,
by separate port
tell me the
network.
answer of one question. How many of you know the segmentation? How many of you know the segmentation?
Yeah, I know.
What is segmentation?
It refers to divide the traffic.
It is division of the network
Okay,
segmentation in a smaller chunk. Yeah.
correct. Division of network. Process of dividing large network into a smaller network. Very good. What is the benefit of dividing large network into a smaller network?
For
Security.
management,
Provides
security,
security.
Management, security,
monitoring,
monitoring. How?
mm,
Monitoring,
Reliable.
reliability. Okay.
and
Uh,
easy for tracking also if there is some issue.
Tracking the issue.
Yes,
Tracking the issue will be easy. Okay.
speed,
Speed, better speed. Okay.
isolation,
Isolation,
broadcast also.
hmm? Guys, in one network, there are 5,000 users. 5,000 users are there in one network. In the company, there are 5,000 users. Users are there. And here, I have placed all 5,000 users in single network. On the other hand, we have divided all 5,000 users into 1,000 users. That is segmentation. 1,000 users, 1,000, 1,000, and 1,000. 1,000 users, 1,000 users, 1,000 users, 1,000 users, and here also 1,000 users. One user is complaining that I am not able to access server. One user is complaining I am not able to access server. Where troubleshooting is going to be easy? In this network or in this network?
In the second one.
Here we have to scan 5,000 users, right? Here we have to scan
Yes,
1,000 user because here I can identify that user is in which network, right?
Yes.
yeah,
can first identify where is the user who is not able to access server is belongs to which subnet. First thing, troubleshooting, easy with segmentation, right? Second, out of these 5,000 users, 1,000 users belongs to HR department, 1,000 users belongs to sales department, 1,000 users belongs to IT department, 1,000 users belongs to engineering department, and 1,000 users belongs to networking department. In the company, definitely you will have some kind of policy that HR user should not be able to talk with sales user, or why HR will talk to networking, right? Can you configure those all policies over here in this network? Can you apply policies between two departments? I can't. Why? Because they all belongs to single network. If they belongs to different network, then definitely I can apply the policy between the network, right? But that is
Yeah.
not possible over here. Even if I am asking you to configure the network in such a way so that sales department should not have the internet access, can you isolate sales department here? No.
No.
Here? Yes, very easily. If I am asking you to configure QS, quality of service, give priority to networking department. Networking department should have higher priority, should have the all access, so that whenever issue will come, they can troubleshoot the issue. Can you configure quality of service in this scenario, in this network? No, because the subnet is going to be same, right? Single subnet is there where all these 5,000 users are connected. Here we can configure the QS very easily. If network size is small, you will get better performance, better speed. If there is issue, very easily you can identify the section, and inside the section you can scan the users. Security, if I want to stop communication between two departments, I can block the communication. Management, very easy. This is the benefit of segmentation.
Segmentation.
And if you will see carefully here, then the difference between first scenario and second scenario is all about segmentation only, right? Here we are going to use different subnet. These 100 users are in different subnet, and these users will be in different subnet. I can configure the policies. If any user is complaining that I am not able to access server, I can identify that is this user belongs to LAN 1 or LAN 2. But here, your all users will be in same subnet. Understand one very important thing. 200 users are there, correct? If I will configure IP address over here, guys, IP address, what will happen? It will generate gracious ARP. You know this? GARP, right? GARP will be sent to switch. Switch will forward it to 200 PC. Am I right? Instead of PC,
Yes,
it can
sir.
be server also. Yes, 200 server. All the server are going to receive the gracious ARP. It will accept the traffic at physical layer. It will open the layer 2 header. It will check the destination MAC. It will drop the packet. If your servers or PC are performing some kind of task, decapsulation, that means it is using their CPU. Am I right? Am I right? Of course, yes. If my machine is checking that this packet is for me or not, it means it is opening the header, Ethernet header. And if it is decapsulating the packet, that means it is using the CPU. Whenever you will configure IP to the any device, all 200 machines are going to use their CPU. That is unnecessary CPU utilization. If this is the server, then you have to take care about the CPU utilization, because so many other side users, maybe your headquarter users or user from the internet, are accessing the server. You will not allow this server to utilize CPU like this to decapsulate the gracious ARP packet. Issue. Not only gracious ARP, whenever a device is going to generate broadcast, all other machines are going to use their CPU. if I need to configure any policy praful between LAN 1, LAN 2, I don't want that this PC should be able to communicate with this PC. Can I do it? No, I can't. Where I will configure policy? All are in same subnet. Whenever there will be broadcast message, there will be use flooding first of all. Not only CPU, just try to understand the number of packet on the link. On every link, broadcast message will be traveling. That is the unnecessary utilization of link. It can create the congestion. You can have the congestion of a link. Who will take care of these all things? Network engineer. Who will take care about the network design, whether I should connect two switches together or I should place one layer 3 device here? Network engineer, you. Okay, day by day you will understand many more things about the segmentation, but for now we have understood that this example is the better profile. This scenario is the better design, better setup. Now very important. Here my submit, this side is let's say 10.1.1.0/24. This side my submit is 20.1.1.0/24. Router break broadcast domain, right? Two are not different broadcast domain. If someone is going to generate GSSR from here, that will flood only in this domain. That broadcast message cannot travel in this domain because router break broadcast domain. Question: what is broadcast domain? What is broadcast domain? Broadcast domain is a domain. Domain means area where broadcast message can be travel. The domain where broadcast message can be travel, and router break the broadcast domain. Right? Means these two are different broadcast domain. This is different broadcast domain. This is different broadcast domain. Perfull, in case of switch, why it is not in different broadcast domain? Because all ports of switch belongs to single broadcast domain.
Same broadcast.
Same broadcast domain. Router has per port broadcast domain and switch has single broadcast domain by default. Then router also has per port collision domain. Even switch has per port collision domain, but hub has single collision domain. Forget about the hub. Why we will talk about hub more. Question here is, when someone from this subnet want to communicate to this subnet, how router is going to forward the traffic? We understood how switch forward the traffic, which table switch maintain, and how switch build that table. Now we need to understand how router build the table, which table it will build, and how it will take forwarding decision, and we'll discuss that tomorrow. Clear? Tomorrow our topic is router, broadcast domain, collision domain, and then see next topic is broadcast and collision domain only. We have already understood how switch is going to forward the frame. Then address, how to identify the devices in address. So tomorrow we will be starting MAC address and IP address just after covering the router and broadcast and collision domain. Okay. For now, you already have this notebook, this note. You can go through it and you can revise the thing. Till now, you don't need to configure anything in packet tracer. When you need to configure this, I will tell you how to install the packet tracer and how you can design this kind of lab there.